So today's video we are again going to discuss several words which we have used in the past, and I will try to put these words in a research and development setting, so it will be somewhat interesting for you and you may also be able to remember these words which you can then use to further diversify your vocabulary. So let's start with the word peruse. So it's spelled Peruse. So peruse basically means to read carefully, and the main part about this word is that in contrast to the word read, peruse means you are looking at some document very carefully. So while you may read a book on fiction such as a mystery novel, you typically peruse a research paper. So there you can use this word to bring out this particular difference between the art of reading and the art of perusing content. Now the next word is verbose. So verbose is somebody who uses more words than are needed. So again, this is used in a somewhat negative sense, that if a concept can be expressed in a few words, there are people who tend to write too many words to discuss that particular concept. So again, whenever somebody is guilty of this particular minor sin, that is a verbose person. Now the next word is compendious. So that's written as Compendious. Compendious. And this word is very interesting. It basically means to present the main factors of something in a comprehensive and concise way. So this word basically captures two concepts which are very important in technical writing, that is comprehensive and concise in the same word. So again, if you are writing a short document such as an abstract to a paper or a thesis, or you are writing a statement of purpose for a college package, then in those cases the document should be compendious. So it should be both comprehensive as well as concise at the same time. So again, this is a very nice word to use in this context. Now one more word is desultory. So this is Desultory, and this basically means lacking a plan or purpose or drifting randomly. So again, desultory could be a negative word to point out a particular passage or a paper which rambles on without necessarily focusing on a particular topic. So I think I use this word in the context of a statement of purpose. So if a candidate writes a statement of purpose which has various different focus points, then there is no coherent message in that particular document. So we can say that document is desultory. Then we have the word misanthrope. So misanthrope is Misanthrope. So this is a person who dislikes mankind or humankind. So again, this is a very strong word, but it's mostly used in a somewhat metaphorical sense to discuss somebody who is a very reclusive person or who probably does not like meeting people. So let us say we can create a particular sentence on this, that working with computers for most of his time led Smith to become a misanthrope. So it can happen to some people. Now the next word is junket. That's Junket. And this is basically a very costly trip typically enjoyed by a person at public expense or at government expense. So this is often used as a pejorative word in the context of people going to conferences in fancy places. So for example, we could say that Dr. Rao's plan to go to a conference in Venice was dismissed as a junket by his boss. So again, that's something which can take place now and then. Now we come to a similar word, but it's less negative. It's a jamboree. That's Jamboree. And this is a large celebration or party. So again, we could say that a conference is essentially a jamboree of people in a certain community who get together to discuss certain problems. So that could be a use of the word jamboree. Now there is a slang word which is sometimes used in the context of conferences, and that's a boondoggle. That's Boondoggle. And this is a wasteful project or trip. So again, this is a word more popular in the US context. And again, this could be something similar, that maybe a person works in a company or a national lab and he or she wants to go to a conference in, say, Las Vegas. Then his boss and co-workers may think that he's going on a boondoggle. So now we come to the word taciturn. So taciturn is somebody who is reserved in speech and who speaks very little. So again, this is something which can happen to people in research. So we could use it in several ways. We could say that Smith was taciturn in speech but verbose in his writing. So again, this is something which can take place. Or we can say that Smith was taciturn during dialogues but verbose during his monologues. So next word is peeved. That's Peeved. And peeved is somebody who is troubled by something. So again, this word can be used in the context of something you may have said or done which has peeved somebody. So you could say that the fact that all your figures use different font sizes peeved your PhD supervisor. So now one more word we have is humdrum. And humdrum basically means boring. So this is spelled as HUMDRUM, humdrum. And humdrum can be again used in the context of maybe a seminar by somebody or a paper by somebody which was not particularly exciting and maybe a collation of facts obtained from various sources. So that's a talk or seminar which could be labeled as humdrum. A similar word is banal. That's BANAL. And that means commonplace. So again, if somebody wants to criticize a document, he may say it is a banal concept or document, which means that it is not particularly novel, it's not exciting, and so on. So these are again some of those pejorative terms which can be used in scholarly writing and so on, or in describing scholarly work by people who want to give a negative connotation to that particular work. Now, one more word I have used is flamboyant. And flamboyant is somebody who wants to get people to look at him or her and has a lot of confidence and stylishness through which he or she tries to get this particular thing done. So again, flamboyant is spelled as FLAMBOYANT. So again, that's something which could be used to describe somebody, maybe somebody who is presenting something in a conference and he or she moves around a lot, moves his hands around and so on, and wears flashy clothes. Such a person could be called a flamboyant speaker. So that's another word you can use. So again, if you are more interested in these words, you can go to Google, and if you go to Google and type these particular words, you can see the exact meaning of these words. And so it's a good idea to increase your vocabulary by using these words, because these words are routinely used in scholarly writing, and they will also help you express your thoughts in a more diverse manner and also help you in improving your writing. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. And again, stay tuned to my channel for further videos on such topic. Thank you very much.